Your regimen sucks and it's making you feel like shit. There are a lot of things that you probably think are helping you or that you probably justify consuming or doing, but in fact, they're contributing to you not feeling like a beast 80% or 90% of the time.
I'm good! I'm good!
The real question you want to ask yourself is, do I feel like a killer 80-90% of the time? Or are there like these long periods where I feel suboptimal, can't think, have brain fog, are anxious, am not in a great mood where I just want to like go evolve and kill it in life? Like if you feel any of those things on a pretty consistent basis or even for periods throughout the day, something's wrong in your regimen and you've got to fix it. Regardless, I'm going to break down a bunch of things that you could either add or remove in your regimen, and importantly hit home the point that if you don't feel like a fucking beast most of the time, your regimen sucks and you've got to do something about it. Couple announcements again. The Dopamine Speed Course. This is a 30-minute, very, very efficient, highly information-dense speed course that teaches you how to upregulate dopamine neurochemistry, fix dopamine receptors, restore dopamine from a dopamine deficiency, release dopamine with specific nootropic and otherwise chemicals. This thing has launched. It's a video course of yours truly, and it's live right now at livecortex.com. Go pick it up. If you want nootropics, look, the Cortex stack, our new stack, highly, highly stimulating. It's like turning a light switch on. Go buy it at livecortex.com. You guys obviously know Torque, same thing, just different accents of cognitive ability. Consulting, TRT protocol optimization, all right, date hacking, erectile dysfunction. All of our courses can be found at livecortex.com or in the description of this video. All right, so let's get back to this. Look, there are things that are almost definitely, if you don't feel like 90 to 95%, dare I say 100%, a good degree of your day, there are things that are sapping your energy and you need to remove them from your regimen. The whole point of this video is, look, a good degree of the time, I feel fucking bulletproof. And the reason I'm able to do this, pump out all this content, date a lot, as you guys learned was happening in my personal life very recently, like write new courses, I'm researching all the time. This is because I feel good a good degree of the time. But it wasn't always like this. There are, it's like, and sometimes I add things in my regimen that I realize, 2-3 days later or 2 weeks later that are inhibiting my productivity. I've got to remove them, change the dose of something, modify this or that, and get back on track. But I'm always conscious of it, and that is where you must be. Do you feel like a killer all of the time, or do you feel subpar? Do you have brain fog? Are you feeling anxious? Does your brain not want to work, or do you not feel productive? Are you not motivated? No, if the answer is no to a lot of those questions, you have an overhaul of your regimen that you must execute. So let's talk about a couple of these things that are major contributors or inhibitors of good energy. Number one, obviously your testosterone. It's like understated. I can't emphasize enough how important it is for you to make sure your testosterone levels are high for you. Generally speaking, that's above 700 nanograms per deciliter total testosterone. Like some guys, especially guys like that jumped on TRT that have been in an androgen deficiency for a long time, are going to do better at like 800 to 1,000 nanograms per deciliter. They're just going to feel themselves have more dopamine release, more dopamine synthesis, more general energy, more strength, and they're going to feel better. Guys that go and get labs and doc goes testosterone's normal, people typically tend to, if they don't know any better, go, oh, that's not it. That's not my problem. My friends, there is a pretty big difference between, 450 in total test and 900 in total test. It's actually a magnificently large difference. People have all these reservations about TRT, like fertility. It's like, yeah, you can take HCG or Clomid and keep the testicles functioning and keep yourself fertile while you're on TRT. Yeah, it's a myth that TRT, destroys your fertility. If it's testosterone alone, yes, we won't be fertile. Testicles will shut down to a significant extent, but you could be supplementing with other things like HCG to keep them firing. Secondly, though, for guys that are on TRT, like there are things in testosterone replacement therapy, like a bad protocol that can make you feel like shit, can make you short of breath, and that's typically high estradiol and or high hematocrit, can give you brain fog, and again, that's usually high estradiol, high hematocrit. If you've listened to some of these Redditors that you need to drop your dose ultra low in order to manage estradiol or something, and then, and look, that there's credence to that. Some people can get away with that. It depends on how much you're aromatizing. But you've done that, and now you're at 110 milligrams and you're, it's 3 weeks or 4 weeks have gone by and you still feel terrible, like you probably should up your dose again. Estrogen. My God, my friends, I just can't emphasize enough how important it is to keep it in that tight range of 20 to 35. And yes, if you do need to lower your dose, but also work on all the things that catalyze aromatization, like just lower your body fat, eat healthier real food, stop drinking alcohol, and stop consuming cannabis. You do those things, you're going to be like a guy like me who can be on 180 milligrams of testosterone and 100 IU HCG every day and only end up at about 40 picograms per milliliter estradiol. That's pretty good, where you need an AI very little bit of the time and a small bit at that. Or if I'm on 140 milligrams testosterone a week, split into everyday injections with 100 IU of HCG every day, I don't even need an AI at that point. Estrogen past a certain range will sap your zest for life, your energy, will induce depression. We've already been over this and the scientific literature on it. You think you're good sitting at 50, and then 3 months later, you start having brain fog, start feeling crappy, start being depressed. Anyway, on your TRT regimen, there's a lot of things that you can do, or a lot of situations in which you can end up in a pretty bad place where you're not feeling like a beast all the time. You have got to manage this stuff. This matters, believe me. Your diet, like simple things, guys. Sometimes omega-3 fatty acids, like how much are you eating fish, and or like are you consuming krill or fish oil? Brain works better. You can kind of shift out of like these bad moods that might be creeping in just because your brain is working better. Like get the omega-3 fatty acids in, like make a judicious effort to get them in. Micronutrients, I can't overstate the significance of just being conscious of micronutrients. Again, things like magnesium, like maybe you just need to eat a little more vegetables, or maybe you should start magnesium citrate, magnesium glycinate supplement, 400, 800 milligrams a day. These kind of things make a huge difference. GABA A receptor modulation in a way which tones down anxiety. That is what you get with steady state levels of magnesium in your blood. And intracellular magnesium. A magnesium deficiency or not enough magnesium in the diet messes with the smooth muscle relaxation and contractibility of the male junk. I mean, if you've got ED at any capacity or erections aren't great, yeah, you probably want to look at magnesium. Booze, like, again, can't talk about enough. Like, you think you're getting pleasure from the 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. like booze, and it does feel good while you're doing it, and maybe you have a little energy, but it's a trade-off, okay? The next day, how do you feel? Do you feel like super productive the next morning? Are you going to the gym? Are you working on your body? It's diminishing returns at best. It's painting over dirt. It's inhibiting your productivity, no question. It's making you like in this state where here's your epic 150% performing self, and you're basically sitting over here at like 62. Good luck getting what you want out of life, money-wise, dating-wise, lifestyle-wise, otherwise, when you feel 62%. Cut out the booze, my friends. You're converting more of your testosterone to estrogen. This is not a good state to be in. Your supplement regimen. Look, people have gone off the rails, and I've done a lot of consulting with these types that are just really into biohacking, and they want to try this and they want to try that. But some people have gone so far off the rails, particularly with some stimulants. They've got like 8 stimulants in their regimen that they take, and they've read and they've heard that it's good for their brain in this way or that way, but they wake up in the middle of the night between 2 and 5 and have a difficult time going to sleep. And then, the rest of the day, after they wake up, they kind of feel crappy and they need to supplement with modafinil or other nootropics in order to even feel somewhat functional. Even then, so they're not 100%. You found out that, X compound is like good for your liver. Well, maybe it's giving you brain fog. Maybe it's causing some sort of inflammatory response, that there's a pathway involved in that and you're not really privy to, that you need to do the research on. Maybe you brought in a glucose disposal agent or something like berberine because you thought it was good and you have this hunch that maybe glucose is an issue to be better dealing with. But what it's ultimately doing is giving you a little lower blood levels of sugar, which in your case may not be good for your energy. This matters. Believe me. One major point, if I could leave you with, in like getting your regimen like so bulletproof that you've got a good degree of energy, a good degree of the time, and you can actually be that person that kills it in life and feels good, and you have a great mood, and you're just interested in new stuff. Things are really, really good and balanced, and you're light on your feet brain-wise. Is that there is a homeostatic range of micronutrients, of hormones, of neurotransmitters, and an effective homeostasis for you of all of these things in physiology that we talk about that you need to be at in order to feel really good all the time. And when you achieve that, when you get there, you must try very diligently to keep yourself there. Realize, hey, I'm feeling really good today. What did I do? What was I eating? What was my supplement regimen? How much did I sleep? Did I make a change in my TRT protocol? Did I just take an AI and get the estrogen down a little bit? Now I feel better, like chipper again. You must be aware of every single one of these things, because I can tell you, life on the other side, feeling fucking awesome, there's no other way to live. Again, guys, just launched the Supercharged Dopamine Speed Course. I mean, look, if dopamine is not firing well, but everything else is correct, you're still going to feel like shit. You're still not going to have energy. You're not going to be motivated for life. You won't have a zest to do things. Get the Supercharged Dopamine Course if you want to increase dopamine, restore dopamine from a deficiency of just dopamine. You don't have a receptor issue, you just have a deficiency. But also included in the course is fixing dopamine neurochemistry from the ground up, resensitizing receptor sites. Whole list of highly effective compounds with dose ranges on how to force dopamine release acutely. Guys, this thing is the holy grail of dopamine hacking, and it's live now, livecortex.com. And the link is in the description of this video. Again, if you have not tried the new version 2 of Cortex, it is a banger. People love this stack out there. I mean, who doesn't want an instant light switch turned on of energy, motivation, focus, and flow? That's what that stack delivers, and you can buy it now at livecortex.com. All right, everybody, it's been a pleasure hanging out with you. So much more content to come soon. All right, have a good one.